Greetings viewers, in today's video, got a couple tools laid out here. I've got 5 tools picked out as my top 5 most favorite useful new tools that I purchased this year for 2019. Well, so what we're going to do is take a little rundown, take a little look at each of these tools and tell you exactly why I think they are my top 5 favorite of the year. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we're not going to do these in any particular order. Starting out, we're going to look at the Mac Tools RBRT sockets. These are both hex and Torx. They're an extractor type socket. Not technically a traditional extractor, but what they're made for is for damage, rounded off, or starting to be rounded off Torx fasteners and hex fasteners. And I've had the hex set for about 2-3 months now. Absolutely love it. It's saved me several times. I'll put some pictures up of instances where I had to use them. Once was on our Mercedes Sprinter caliper bolt. Just last week before last, Chrysler Town and Country brake caliper bolt. Saved me on both of those. Didn't have to drill them, didn't have to use any kind of twist socket or fluted extractor or anything like that. Just use these sockets in place of a normal hex and a normal Torx. The thing that makes the RBRT sockets unique are the way that they are made on the end here. Instead of being a regular hex, they have these little teeth that go around, and they are what is used to bite into a damaged or rounding fastener to grip it and pull it out. That's on the hex, and if we look at the Torx, same way on it. It looks like a traditional Torx, it's just everything's slightly off to one side with a little tooth on it. Have not had a chance yet to use the Torx, but if they're half as good as the hexes are, I'll be thoroughly impressed with them. And the set I bought for the hex, it was a 4 to 10 mil. But working on Subarus, I went ahead and got the 12 and the 14 mil as well. 14 would be on your coolant drain plug, and if I can recall correctly, I think it's the piston wrist pin access cover. I think it's the 14 or possibly the 12. Those that work on the turbo cars, if you've worked on an EJ 205, 257, 255, you know that they don't use a traditional bolt to hold the cam pulley in place. They use a hex bolt. So that is a point of aggravation for anyone that works on these cars. Many times they round out or strip, and then you're having to drill them out, cut the head up, put extractors in them. Real pain. In the EJ 205 reseal video, which I still have not finished editing and posted yet, I used these on the cam pulley bolts. Had no issue. These are also designed to be used on good fasteners, and they'll prevent you from damaging them. Yeah, so overall, thoroughly impressed with them. Not going to break the bank on the set. I believe the Torx set is normally $169. I think I got it for $149 last week on special. And then the 4 to 10, I believe, was like 90 bucks, and then like 10 or 20 bucks a piece to add the 12 and 14. So not too extravagant for what they are, and what they are is a great and useful tool. All right, next item we've got is this set of 1/4 inch magnetic impact sockets. It is a mixed set right now. Originally I got the deep wells off of the Mack truck. They are Mack branded, but they are not made by Mack. As far as I know, they are Taiwan stamped. So they are probably Sunex, Gray Pneumatic, somewhere in that realm. The shallows here are made by Sunex and Sunex branded, and been thoroughly happy with the purchase. These sockets are really great. You got the little magnet inside. Hold your fastener secure so you're not going to drop it out in the engine bay anywhere. Particularly useful on your timing cover bolts, the 12 millimeter bolt that goes in the back of the power steering pump, bracket to keep from having to drop it down between the intake and the power steering pump can be a pain sometimes. Getting around the AC compressor, just anything you can think of, you know, these are great for it. On the deep wells, cool thing about them, if you come across where you need to take a nut off of a stud, you know, you can still get your regular magnet to grip a regular flat bolt, but if you need to grip on a nut on a stud, this magnet is actually spring-loaded. So if you go over a stud, the magnet retracts, grabs your nut as you pull it off. So great little set. If I recall correctly, I think the Mac branded deep wells were about $115, $120. The Sunex shallow sockets were about $38 Amazon Prime. I'll leave a link in the description for the video to them. I'll also leave a link to the deep well Sunex as well. Hindsight's 2020. Really wish I'd bought the Sunex deep, but saw them on the Mack truck and had to have them. And from there, I had to have the shallow. So here we are. But yeah, great set. Haven't had any complaints out of them. Got the impacts because I use these a lot on my 1/4-inch snap-on battery-powered ratchet. Even though it's not technically an impact, for power tool use, I like to use impact sockets. Next up, we've got a tool from CTA. This is a CTA 7630 is the part number. Can be had on Amazon Prime. I think it's like $25 Prime. I've had this for about 4 or 5 months now. Absolutely love it. Such a simple tool. I wish I'd had it years ago, but never bought one up until recently. Was really useful last week. Had 2 tone belt water pump jobs. Was really great to have then. So really simple. We got a 1/2-inch drive on one side, circular bore with a square cut in the top. And what this is when you have your crank pulley and crank bolt out of the engine, you can slide this over the end of the crankshaft and the Woodruff key. Put your ratchet on here and turn your engine over. Super simple, but real lifesaver, where you don't have to try to throw the crank bolt back in there, turn it, and not get your crank bolt stuck in the crankshaft, or put your pulley back on and the crank bolt on. Doing a time belt job, it's just so much easier just to throw this on the ratchet, spin it over, be done. Don't have to worry with the bolt and the pulley until it's time to torque it back down after the job's done. So getting into the home stretch now, we have the Milwaukee M12 right angle grinder. Love this tool, love this tool, love this tool. I've been wanting something like this for years, and of course Milwaukee was the one to finally deliver it to us. This thing is great. I've used it, I don't know, 8, 9 times since it was released, or since purchasing it from release. Absolutely love it. Does everything I need it to do. 99% of the time, it's got a Scotch-Brite roll lock or a 3M bristle disc for prep and cleanup work. No complaints on power, speed, etc. Does everything I need it to do, and it does it quietly. That is the main thing. This thing is so quiet compared to my old pneumatic, and the fact that I don't have a hose to drag around behind me. I can go anywhere around a car, engine bay, around the engine stand with this thing, and I have to worry about dragging that dad blame hose behind me. You know, can't say enough good about it. Haven't had any issues with it. Put a arbor on the front with a 3-inch cutoff wheel, cut through stuff. Didn't have an issue there, but that's not what I'm using this for. My sole purpose basically is going to be for roll locks and bristle disc for surface prep, and it does that exceedingly well. Been completely satisfied with the tool. As far as battery power, battery runtime and all is concerned, most of the time I've got a CP30 in it, as I got now. If I'm doing a lot of prep, I'll throw a XC60 in it. Not worried about the size. Haven't had any issue getting it into any place I need to get it in. It is quite a bit bigger than my pneumatic, but the size hasn't been an issue. So yeah, love this tool. Can't say enough good stuff about it. You know, as you saw in my Milwaukee video, I've become a real big fanboy of Milwaukee, and this is no exception. Awesome tool, love it. All right, moving on to the last tool. This one's going to be a little hard to showcase just because of the size of it and the main selling point of why I purchased it. This is a Matco CFR 308 LFG. It is a 1/2-inch drive locking flex head ratchet, and it is a big old beast. If I can recall correctly, it is 30 inches long all the way. Soft grip handle in green. The only reason I bought this ratchet was for breaking loose Subaru crank bolts. And let me tell you, this thing makes it a lot easier. Before with the snap-on I had, or still have, which is their longest 1/2-inch flex head ratchet, which I believe is 24 inches long. This one beats it by a full 6 inches. It just gives so much more leverage when trying to break a crank bolt loose. Don't have to put a pipe over the end of it like I had to do a couple times with the snap-on. I know that's abuse and not good practice, but when you got to get it done, you got to get it done. So had to slide a pipe over a couple times. I used this on both of the time belt water pump jobs I had this week. It's actually the first time I've used it since I bought it. I only bought it about maybe a month ago, and no problem, popped them right out of there. Love this thing. We'll see how it holds up and see how it does here on out. Other uses for it other than the crank bolts, I'm sure I'll be able to use it anywhere I use my 1/2-inch I have now. So for suspension bolts, you know, control arms, all that kind of stuff, I'm sure this thing's going to get a lot of use. Love the locking flex head in it. Always been a fan of locking flex heads, but Matco's is really nice in the fact that it's low profile compared to the Snap-on. Snap-on's locking flex has a little button that sticks up, and to unlock it, you pull the button down. You'll just slide it down, and then you can move back and forth. If you want to unlock it, you slide it down and move it to the side. But that gives you, this setup is a lot slimmer. I don't have them side by side, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot slimmer, where you just got this switch and you just flip it here to unlock it, flex all you want, and flip her back to lock it in place, flexed at whichever angle you please. So great tool. Like I said, I've only used it a couple times, but it did exactly what I needed to do, and love it. And not too particular on the green color. I'm red-green colorblind, but you know, it makes it more visible than, say, a red or a black handle. So no big gripe there. I know plenty of guys are crazy about green tools, and when I was a dealer, I could always count on anything green being sold out. Oh, just about forgot. There is another tool. I actually meant to show this off earlier. Not technically a tool, but something you'll use if you're working with tools. And I've been wearing them the whole video, put them on my face, and forgot about them because they're so flippin' comfortable. It's the Milwaukee anti-fog safety glasses. These are part number 48-73-2020. If I recall correctly, I'll try to put some kind of link in the description for all of this stuff. But these are by far the best safety glasses I have ever had. I've had lots of different brands. I've had lots of different styles, 3M and all the other manufacturers. And this one takes the cake. I'll put these on first thing in the morning when I get to the shop, and I completely forget I've got them on. I've gone home with them on several times and not even realized I had them on until I went into the bathroom and saw them on my face in the mirror. They are that comfortable. The anti-fog coating does really well. Another big gripe I've always had with wearing safety glasses is the pain of dealing with lenses always fogging up due to perspiration, sweat, or the cold, depending on whether it's hot or cold, summer or winter when you're working. And These things have been just great. Haven't had any problems with them fogging up or steaming up or any issue of that nature. Like I said, they're super comfortable to wear. Wear them all day without even noticing them. Some of the cheaper brands or other brands, I'd be fidgeting with them all daggum day and always adjusting the nose pieces and things like that because they'd get out of adjustment and just aggravating and a pain, and just makes you want to toss them off to the side and not worry about wearing them. But no complaints here. Great job, Milwaukee, on these things. Wear them all day, every day. Guys, wear your safety glasses. You only get 2 eyeballs, and I don't want to take a 50-50 shot on having a good one and a bad one. So wear your safety glasses. Little PSA. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video on my top 5 favorite tool purchases of 2019. Technically 6 if you count the glasses. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Really helps me out, helps the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of my picks. Do you have any tools that you purchased this year that you think are a worthwhile investment, or something that you found super useful? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know as well if you'd like to see videos on individual tools shown here, maybe showcase them a little more and use things of that nature, or testing them. And got a couple plans. Might do a couple more of these videos. I was thinking top 5 power tools of the year, top 5 hand tools of the year, something like that. Just something to round out 2019 before New Year's. So let me know your suggestions and thoughts in the comments below. Also try to put a link to each of these tools in the description of the video. And with that, I'll close out here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.